Hey everybody, welcome to the webinar. Let me know that you can hear me and we'll get started right away. So just give me a heads up that you can hear me and that you can see the screens if you'd be kind enough. So give me a heads up out there. Can you hear me? All right, so thank you for listening. I want to welcome everyone to the webinar. So I just want to ask a quick question. This webinar is entitled, You Can Make Money in 2026. We're going to talk about the Magnet 2.0 setup, reversals, and the ARS system. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10 Minute Trades. Please remember that all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures, so please be careful if you're trading. All right? So how many of you out there are actually making money and are profitable trading right now today? Type in yes or no, you are a profitable trader right now today. Give me a yes or a no. Let's go. Let me know if you're trading profitably or not. Anyone? Nobody wants to answer. Does that mean you're all losing money? What do you say? Give me a heads up. Is anybody making money out there trading? Nobody? Frank? James? Jim? Ruben? Sasha? Can you hear me? Hans? How about you? No? So trading, is trading a scam, people? Is trading a scam? Is it possible for the average person to make money? I think the sad truth is that most people do not make money. Most people are looking for a way to make money and they're struggling. They don't know what information to trust. They don't know who to trust. They've been scammed and they've been screwed out of money buying bad systems and bad software previously, and they have a bad taste in their mouth and are tired of feeling like trading is a scam. We're not going to talk a lot about prop trading. We have prop trading setups that are very good, but is there a bigger scam in the world than prop trading? If there is, I'm not sure that I know what it is. Prop trading, some people think it's the biggest scam in the world. They make you think you're trading a $50,000 account. You're really trading a $2,500 account. There's a lot of things that are not good about prop trading. You create the worst of the worst trading habits that you can ever imagine. You're trading in sim most of the time. So is prop trading a scam? I don't think so. I don't think trading is a scam. But I will tell you this. I think trading is the hardest job in the world. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it and make money. But it's unbelievably attractive because everybody wants to stay home and work at home and make money trading. It's tremendously attractive. But it's very difficult. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to follow rules. And prop trading works against all those disciplines because it doesn't matter what happens in most cases. You're not trading your own money. You're not trading live real money. So people have a tendency to create the worst trading habits and they don't get trained well. So you must learn to be disciplined and very controlled and follow rules, record your trades. There's a lot of things you can do to become a profitable trader and to make money. Other things you can do is get involved with honest people that care if you do well. And that is something that we are at 10 Minute Trades. We trade a system called appointment-based trading. We trade on a schedule. Every week we send our members a schedule. Our software installs into the NinjaTrader platform and it becomes a part of the platform. And we trade futures, okay? We're not trading stocks. We're not trading bonds. And the main reason that we use NinjaTrader over all the other platforms that are out there, NinjaTrader is one of the fastest growing platforms in the world. They have one of the largest user bases, and it's one of the best places in the world for software companies like us to develop our software and have it work with a platform that has the features that you need to be able to trade the way that we trade. We need features like market replay, market playback. We need to be able to test our trades. And NinjaTrader is reliable, they're an honorable broker, and they're a very good partner for trading the news and trading appointment-based trading. And we really are happy to be involved with them. We're a NinjaTrader partner. So at 10-Minute Trades, we have a system, and I'm going to try and go through the basics quickly because every week I give an educational webinar, and you can just simply go to our YouTube channel and you can get all the beginning information that I'm going to cover in this webinar. So I'm going to go through the beginning quickly because there's a ton of information online explaining what our system is, how and why we do it, and I don't need to go through everything in depth. We have a system, we have a weekly schedule, we have daily trade reports, we have trade room software, trade room access, and our software. Those are 4 elements that make up our system. Our software has 3 strategies that install into NinjaTrader. The trap trade, which is a specialized reversal strategy. We also have a magnet strategy, and we have NewsTrader software. And inside the NewsTrader software, we have a variety of different setups. So here's NinjaTrader charts, and if I right-click my mouse and pull up the strategies, I can see up on this trade setup window here, if I load the NewsTrader and then look up here at this little arrow, I've got all these strategies built into my software. Breakout trade, a range trade, reverse continuations, squeeze plays, trap squeezes, manual reverse breakouts. Now, I'm not trying to scare everybody. Many of those strategies are not used all the time. We have 3 major strategies that we use almost every day: the breakout, the range trade, and the reverse continue. And we've set up our software in a way that you could just turn it on and just see those 3, and that's all you have to deal with. If you need more advanced setups or some of the extra setups, you just press the advanced trade type button and you can see all those extra setups. So we've tried to make our software as easy to use as possible because going along with the theme of making money in 2026, one of the most important things is having tools that are usable, tools that are not so complicated that you're not able to deal with them, or that you need so much tech support that you never can get started. So we feel very strongly that our tools are easy to use and are well set up and logical. So multiple strategies, multiple setups within the main NewsTrader program. The breakout, which is the spike trade, range trades, which are trades that can be based on time. For instance, every morning we trade the oil open, and when we trade the oil open, we set up a range. We look at a time period, a minute to 2 minutes before the oil market opens. And after those 2 minutes are done, we have a range that calculated for 2 minutes, and our orders are placed above or below the range. When you break out of a range, you get pulled into the market. If you think about what most trading really is, almost all trading is just a breakout of a range. So if you can control your ranges and also determine what time ranges you want to trade, you can actually design many successful trades. And that's what we do at 10-Minute Trades. We look at calendars that are free. Okay, so let me go back a little bit into exactly what we do here. So like I said, we have 4 elements in the system: the weekly schedule, the daily market trade reports, daily market movers, trade room access, and our software. And the software has 3 major setups we use every day: reversals, breakouts, and ranges. Our weekly schedule shows our trade room schedule when the trade room opens. It shows the instruments we're looking at trading, whether we're streaming on YouTube, and the event that we're trading. And we send our schedule to members for free, or to anybody that wants it for free. Just go to our website, 10minutetrades.com, opt in for the free video, how to find 10-minute trades. We'll send you our schedule for free. So we look and find the best events to trade by using the various calendars. I'll get to that in a second. After we find an event to trade, we study it, and we study the way that that particular event behaves each time the news comes out. So for instance, we have an event called the FOMC statement. When the FOMC makes an announcement about what they're going to do with interest rates, that's a very tradable event. We study that event and we come up with a trade setup. We put that trade setup on a report called the Daily Market Mover, and we send those reports to our members the day before the event so they can look at it, get ready for tomorrow's trade. So that's a very important element of our system. So the appointment-based trading system is simple, time-based, and pre-planned. You can schedule your trades up to a month in advance. We like to do it on a weekly basis. In the calendars, there are categories of events. 3 main categories: high-impact reports, high-impact economic reports, like a jobs report or a housing report, existing home sales, things like that. Earnings reports are very, very good market movers. Earnings season is just starting right now. It started last week with Netflix. Intel is this afternoon. And then the third major category, market opens and closes. And there are quite a few different market opens and closes. You've got the U.S. Open. Right now we're trading the U.S. Open every morning in our trade room at 9:30. And that we call a family money trade, because those trades have been very profitable almost every day. Trading the MNQ or the NQ has been extremely effective. That's a market open. Those are market moving events that you can plan on. You know what time they take place. You can create trade setups around those events. And that's what we do. There are literally hundreds of these events, these triggers, within those categories, and you can pick and choose them depending on your schedule. If you're a full-time trader, then you could trade everything you want. If you're a part-time trader, then you have to choose the best events based on your personal schedule. And that's very possible to do. There are trades throughout the whole day, from 6, 7 o'clock in the morning all the way to midnight, if not later. We use calendars, free calendars, to find these events, and then we vet the events. When I say we vet them, we study them, we see the way they move, we create little reports called spike sheets. How much did the news spike every time the news came out? And that helps us to create setups around the events. When you go to a calendar such as forexfactory.com, it gives you a week of data, a week of events, and we have vetted almost all the events on these reports so that we can bring the best events into our trade room for you to trade so you can make money on them in the trade room. That is the simple concept of what we do. We look at events, we study events, we come up with a trade setup, and we teach it to you in our trade room. And we're now going even further than that. We've created a new strategy called the Magnet Strategy. Investing.com, another calendar that has events. Not all the events are the same on every calendar, so the reason we look at multiple calendars is to find as many good events to trade as possible. Investing.com is a very good calendar to find events on, and then we also like TradingEconomics.com. They happen to have certain things that other calendars don't have. They have the grain events. For instance, corn and oats and wheat, reports that take place around the grains. And there are quite a few trades that are very effective. WASDE, the quarterly grain report, the NOPA crush report. And again, these are reports and events that we teach to you in our trade room. And the best of these events are the ones that we want to trade because they give us the highest probability of winning trades. You don't want to trade lousy events that the performance has shown to be poor, because what's the point? The point is to use the events that give you the greatest possibility of profits. We have certain events that are the elite best of the best, and we call them family money trades. And when an event is a family money trade, that means usually at least 7 out of 10 times that you trade that event, it should offer a profit opportunity. Another method that we use is trading with futures on earnings. So when I say trading with futures on earnings, we use a website called earningswhispers.com. One of the things we pride ourselves on at 10-Minute Trades is finding as many free tools as possible for our members. All the calendars are free. Earningswhispers.com is a free website that goes over earnings releases, the companies that are releasing their earnings, when they're releasing their earnings. There's deeper dives you can do on the data. Very, very good website if you're interested in trading earnings with us. Hey, if you're a stock trader and you want to deal with earnings, earningswhispers.com is a great site. You go to the site, and at the very top they have their greatest hits. What's coming up? You can see Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Tesla, all the big guys are coming up. Palantir, who knew that Palantir would be a great earnings play? But all of a sudden, with all the attention to that company, good and bad attention, I might add, they are now a very good earnings trade in our catalog of earnings trades. So earningswhispers.com has a great calendar. It's very easy to use. Just click the word calendar, go to the day you're interested in looking at what's being released, and then up at the top it says after the close, and it shows you a list of companies. And we have a way of looking at this list and figuring out which of these companies we want to research for trading earnings with futures. And we have many of these trades. They're some of our most effective trades at 10-Minute Trades. I'll show you a quick one. One of our favorites, I show this one all the time because it's been such a great trade. Let me see if I have it handy. Yes, United Health. That United Health, where the CEO unfortunately was murdered, happens to be a great trade. Every quarter, when they release their earnings, 5 minutes to 6 in the morning, we are in the trade room ready to take a trade. We use a range trade to trade this particular setup, and we've been trading this for years, and I don't recall any losing trades on this event. 5 minutes to 6, their earnings come out. We trade the YM futures. You can see that the candle explodes to the upside. It easily hits our first target, and then it keeps going. And in this particular trade, I was trailing my stop. It took me out, but it kept going higher. Every single person that traded that trade with us in our trade room made money on United earnings. And then that same morning, after United earnings, we had a UPS trade 5 minutes later. And UPS, we also had a range trade for UPS. Here comes UPS earnings. Very similar kind of behavior. The news comes out. You can see the earnings on some of the tools that we use. We're using Thinkorswim and TradingView to look at the stock movement. But our trade is actually in the futures. It's in the futures. And look, sometimes you get a big move out of the earnings. Sometimes you get a quiet move. This particular day, UPS was quiet. But in the most recent United Health, UPS was actually a very nice winner after United Health was a winner. So these are the things that we do. We study the events, we study the earnings, and we figure out what are the best ways to set these trades up. Trading in a prop account can definitely be done the way that we trade. One of the things you have to keep in mind is that all of the prop account companies have different rules. Some of them allow news trading, some of them don't. What you find is that in your evaluations, the way that prop trading generally works is instead of putting up cash to open up a cash brokerage account, you pay a company a small monthly fee and you rent the trading platform and you get live data. And that's the way you do your trading. So they put fake money in the account. You know, they make you make believe it's real money, but it's simulated money. And it's called an evaluation account. And you trade that simulated money. When you become good and you pass your evaluation, then they call it a funded account, or some of the companies do. The rules become stricter and you have to be more consistent, follow stricter rules. That's when you have to make sure that the company you're using allows you to trade in the methods that we use. And also, it's one of the reasons we came up with all different ways to trade the news. Breakouts and exploding trades are the types of trades prop accounts don't love. Also, exploding trades sometimes are not easy to get filled because the market moves very fast. So we came up with many other ways to trade. In particular, our magnet trades and our reversal trades are very prop friendly because they are consistent, they're not explosive, they fill well, and that's what prop accounts are looking for, consistency. They want 180 profit here, 250 here, 80 here, 300 here. They don't want 1,000, 8,000, 3,000, lost 4,000. They won't let you pass their evaluations and their funded accounts if you're super inconsistent. So consistency is very important. So our software strategies, they're custom add-ons to the NinjaTrader platform. And like I said, they have multiple setups. You can automate some of the trades. You can semi-automate some of your trades. You can move your targets and stops automatically, or you can move them yourself. You have discretionary setups. You have automatic setups. Let's talk about what the magnet strategy is and what a magnet is. So our magnet strategy is based around levels on charts. It's not very complicated, all right? On a chart, you have levels. On our charts, and it's very important, if you're going to trade magnets with us, our new magnet strategy, which is due out in about 2 weeks now for real, our new magnet strategy is going to come with a template, a chart template, and that chart template is going to include all the indicators that you see on this very simple and easy to read chart. If you notice, it almost looks like there's hardly anything on my charts at all. And that's because we pride ourselves on keeping our charts simple, clear, easy to see, easy to understand. That makes it easy to trade, easy to win, easy to make money. When you're so confused about what is on your charts, when you can't read the charts because there's so much garbage on the charts, it makes it impossible to trade. And we pride ourselves on keeping things simple. The most important thing for us are magnets and understanding trend. Trend is like the first thing you ever learn about when you're learning to trade. And if you just put some time in and learn how to understand, is the market leaning towards going up? Is it leaning more towards going down? Is it just hanging around where it is? No matter what system you trade, that's going to help you so much to be a good, successful trader. Magnets are levels on the charts that many traders put their orders around, because many new traders in particular are all taught the same thing. You know, put your stop at these certain points on the chart because that's the best place to put the stop. And new traders don't know that if everybody does the same thing, that can sometimes be the worst thing you can do. You need to learn to think a little bit outside the box. But what happens is, levels on the chart where many people put their orders tend to attract price. We trade that attraction of price or the repelling of that price. And magnets are the attraction, and then of course repelling the price are the reversals. Over and over again, when we're trading events, when we trade the news, we have noticed that levels test the same areas all the time. So there's certain levels that are fantastic magnets. High of day, low of day. The PP pivot, the central pivot they call it. The VWAP, which is a level so many traders look at and put their orders around. And some of the S1, R1 pivots. Those are areas that our magnet software can automatically target. Our magnet software is multiple systems in one system, and that's what's so fantastic about it. You'll notice that there's these little arrows on the chart. So besides being a trading system for magnets, after the news is done, after the magnet trade is over, there's often another opportunity to make money. And this is why in all the emails that I sent talking about this webinar, we talk about, yes, you can make money at the breakout, at the explosion, and there are many trades that we love and that we trade at the explosion. And let me show you one. You know, we took a very recent trade on the quarterly grain report, all right? And by the way, our members made over $600 trading corn. One of them made over $900 trading soybeans. There's no trick to trading corn or soybeans. A future is a future is a future. If you trade the NQ, you can trade the corn futures. It works exactly the same. Our trading chart, we made 450 on corn. We made 445 on soybeans. But the point is, it was an explosion trade. It was a burst. So watch what happens. The price burst, hit our targets, took us out of the trade with very nice profits. When those types of trades are working, it's fantastic. But they don't always work. Sometimes you don't get a perfect fill. Sometimes the market's moving so fast that you don't get your fill where you want it, and the trade can go awry. So you want to have multiple ways to trade events. If you're in very, very volatile markets, sometimes the breakout trade is not the best choice. Sometimes a better choice is trading around the news. And what often happens around the news is a report will come out, you'll get a test of the high of the day, for instance, which is this green line. And then very often, exactly what you see on this chart will occur. Sometimes, like in this particular instance, we had a VWAP trade. If you notice what happened here, the VWAP, this line, it got tested. We have a trade, number one, that goes to the VWAP and exits at the VWAP. So on this particular chart, people who traded for a test of the VWAP had a very easy winning trade. Number one, it tested that line and took them out of the trade when it got there. Then we have a full-blown signal system based into our software that when the moment is right, it will often give a reversal signal, in particular after a certain level is tested. The important levels that we like to test and generate signals around are the VWAP, the high of day and low of day. Those are my favorite signals for testing and doing reversals at those signals. And you can see here, we had a perfect signal after the VWAP was tested. It told us to go long. We went, if you had gone long on gold at that area, let me just give you a ballpark, how many ticks could have been available. And I picked the worst entry. All right, I'm not picking the fastest entry, I'm picking the worst. Over 200 ticks were available. Now, gold is one of my favorite instruments to trade magnets and reversals. because it's so volatile these days. And if you trade the same instrument over and over and over, you learn about the way that it moves. So one thing, big thing that new traders make mistakes about is they try to trade 8 million different instruments. When I say different instruments, I mean they'll try to trade the YM, they'll try to trade corn, they'll try to trade gold, they'll try to trade the ES. If I'm going to give you advice, and if I'm teaching you in our room, I'm teaching you, find a few instruments that you like to trade that seem to fit your trading personality. If they're too fast for you, you're not going to enjoy trading that instrument. All of them trade at a different speed. Find a couple of instruments that you like and stick with those for your reversals and your signals, and for trades that are discretionary, so that you learn how an instrument trades. You learn its behavior. You learn the way it behaves when it hits a high or it hits a low. And that helps you to become more successful and to make money. When you're trying to trade 80 different instruments, you're just filled with a life and filled with chaos and confusion. And trading is hard enough. Make it as simple as possible. Trade a couple of instruments over and over and over at the same times also. That makes your trading more reliable and more able to follow certain patterns and speed of trades. But notice, trading around the VWAP worked very well. We had interesting trades here. Now, when you're constantly making new highs, you have to be careful about taking short signals, right? You don't want to jump into shorts when a market is making new high after new high after new high. So it's important to have rules about when you would enter a trade. This happens to be today. Gold has just been going through the roof. Let's look at another signal. This was the MNQ, and this was this morning. So let me go back in time a little bit. The MNQ gave a long signal. It was trading around the VWAP, all right? Trading around the VWAP, got a signal to go long, and after you went long, just a ballpark here. So depending where you got in, if you got in at the worst place in the world, there was over 100 ticks of possible profit. Now this is the MNQ, 50 cents a tick. One of the nice things that you can do when you're a beginning trader is trade micros, because when you trade micros, you can use nice big stops. So you can use market structure to place the stops instead of just another big mistake that new traders make. They use random stops just because they think to themselves, oh, I don't want to lose more than 20 ticks on that trade. That's the worst way to set a stop. The best way to set a stop is what kind of market area is going to hold the price best. So in other words, if you're trading this VWAP line, right, and you've gone to the upside, doesn't it make sense that you want your stop below that VWAP line? If it breaks that line, it's breaking an important support area. It's not that complicated trading, especially when you're trading trend. So if we go back a little bit in time just to see what kind of signals that the NQ is giving. And what's interesting is some days you get great signals, some days you get lousy signals. It really depends on sometimes the price action of that particular day. But what we are looking for are high and low signals, signals off the high and low. Now here was the morning trading starting. You don't trade right at the morning starting because there's not a lot of volume, there's not a lot of trends yet. You want to wait for the markets to get going, right? So now that was actually the 6 p.m. market open. So as you get closer to 7 o'clock, you'll find that your signals get better and better. Here we had a new low that was made, a very good signal, supported by the squeeze going up. And again, I don't have to measure this, but it was over 100 ticks of profit. A very good signal, 100 ticks of profit. Where would I put my stop on that trade? The smart place would be under the red line, under the low of the day. And you notice it never broke it. And here's a great tip. New traders are going to put their stop right at the low of the day or one tick under. You got to outsmart all the beginning traders. Put your stops 10 ticks below where you think someone else is going to put their stops. Let them get taken out of the trade while you're still in it. So if it changes direction before it hits your stop, you're still in it making money. Don't do what everybody else is doing, all right? So this whole signal system is called our ARS system. It also, so follow this clearly. We have a trade that tests for the high of the day. Let me show you what I mean. So we have a very simple trade called the main magnet trade, all right? And our main magnet trade, like I said, simple, trades for the high of the day. So let's see what happens here. Or the low of the day. Here we have a low of the day, the red line. Our magnet software puts an order on the chart, this heavy line. We're expecting price to go down, and we're going to exit the trade at the low of the day. It's a magnet. The low of the day is pulling the price towards us, towards the low, and it happened very quickly. You could see it. There it is. The price hit the low. That's where we took our trade. That is the most basic, simple magnet trade. Go for a level, take that level. If the level gets hit, we're getting filled with our heavy line there. And now if price goes up on this trade, it's going to take us out at the high of the day. Bingo. Goes through an oil trade that made the low of the day earlier in the day, and then later the high of the day. Those are magnet trades. After it makes the high of the day or the low of the day, then we have a complete separate trading system called the ARS system. That's what generates our signals. And there's a multiple ways we can trade our ARS system. We can trade it just for VWAP signals. We can trade it just for high of day, low of day signals. We can trade it as a complete standalone signal system where it generates signals regardless of highs and lows. It just uses trend, pullbacks, and momentum to generate signals. And it has a complete signal creating system using those methodologies. And we call that the aftershock reversal squeeze or the aftershock reversal system. And it's a whole way of trading around the news. And then we have one more very important trade setup. That trade setup worked really, really well for us this morning. Let me show you. This morning, so every morning we're trading the oil open. Now for the past 2 weeks, the oil open's been a bear. It's been tough to trade. For months, it's been great and people made a lot of money trading it. Now watch this little chart all the way to the left. But this morning the trade didn't work initially for me. But we have another setup called the reverse continuation. Our reverse continuation trade is a scalp trade. It's a discretionary trade, but a scalp trade that is safe. Why is a scalp trade safe? Because we have targets, we have stops. It's a controlled scalp. It's not like a random crazy trade where you're just jumping into the market, hoping it goes your way. It's well thought out. It's configured. It's got targets and stops, and it's a smart way of trading. And it's called the reverse continue. I didn't make money on my first trade, but I thought to myself, and we looked at what was going on with oil in the morning, it seemed clear. We had a VWAP right above us. Not only is the VWAP what we call resistance, it's an area on a chart that price has to fight to get through, okay? It was $60. Oil's been struggling to get above $60 day after day after day. It goes to 60, it gets above it, and then it pulls back. So $60 is a magic number. The VWAP was sitting at that number, making the concept of taking an opposite direction short a fantastic opportunity. Also, when we first got to the room and we just looked at oil on a 15-minute chart, and look, sometimes, folks, it's not rocket science. We looked at oil on a 15-minute chart, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So CL 0326 is the symbol. We got into our room this morning and we threw on a 15-minute chart. And we noticed this is what we saw. We saw oil going down, 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 down. Now let's ignore, I would ignore the signals for now. This is not trading signals. You don't take long signals when the market is dropping, dropping, dropping. You can get a momentum signal. Doesn't mean you're going to take it. But this is what we saw early this morning. When we went to an earlier time frame, we saw price going down. So think about what I was saying. We had this setup, right? Let me just go back to the other instrument I was looking at. We had this oil setup. Our first trade didn't work, but we noticed here we are sitting at the VWAP at $60. Price is going up, but oil was bearish. It looked like a short would be a perfect trade to test the low of the day. So my first trade didn't work, but I put on a reverse continuation to take a short at the VWAP. And where would my stop be? Above the VWAP. If it breaks that VWAP by more than 4 or 5 ticks, my trade is probably in big, big trouble. And we were doing other things. This was a secondary trade because we were getting ready to trade the regular market open with the MNQ. That's one of our family money trades. That's a trade that's been working almost every morning. But watch what happened on this oil trade when we put the trade on. I took a short. I put my stop above the VWAP. The price chopped around a little bit. And I thought I was getting stopped out. Okay, I was watching it, but we were doing something else. Price chopped around. Chopped around for about 25 minutes, maybe longer. And our trade just sat there. But you have to have faith in your system. You have to believe in your analysis. And if you study a little bit and put the time in, and you're willing to learn from people that tell you smart things, you can do very well as a trader. Watch, eventually our thesis was proven. Price started dropping right after the market opened, which is often a trigger time. And bingo, we had a really nice profitable trade. It turned our negative morning in oil into a positive morning in that account. So we have these multiple ways of trading around the news. We've got magnets, regular reverse continuations, and we've got the ARS signal system. Let me go shoot through where we need to be in this setup. Don't forget, the charts are a very important part. We include a template, but we also teach you, and it takes all of 15 minutes. We teach you in 15 minutes exactly how to set up your charts, and so that they're exactly like ours for trading these events. We believe that our chart setup is perfect for trading magnets and reversals like this, and we teach you exactly what indicators. Almost all of them are free. Very little of what you have to do with us requires extra money. You understand what triggers a magnet trade? It's all the orders around the certain levels. They attract the price. I've shown you what the reversal continue is. Can you trade market opens? Of course you can trade the market open. What happens at the market open? The magnet levels get tested, right? We trade the oil open every day. We trade the MNQ open every day. Then after the opens, that's when you trade the magnets, the The ARS system is a signal system based around highs of days, lows of days, various pivots that we know are going to change and attract price, repel the price, and the idea is we teach you how to see these levels and how to trade them, and our software makes it easy to do. So look, it's 2026. Everybody knows that inflation is through the roof. Prices are going up on everything, and we are raising our prices very soon. But we want to give you an opportunity to join with us, and an opportunity, if you stay a member, to get the new magnet strategy at our current price. So here's the deal. I think that a lot of you would love to join us for all of our upcoming news and earnings trade rooms, magnet trade rooms, earning trade rooms, breakout trade rooms, everything that we do. I truly believe that many of you would love to join us. You'll get access to our news trader software, our daily market mover trade reports, our trade room, full access, nothing is held back, and all of our software. We have our trap trade reversal strategy setups. We've got teach you how to use the prop accounts for trading the ways that we trade in our prop accounts. You can get a full membership for 30 days for $20. It's $20.26. The monthly auto renew is $97. All you have to do to cancel it is send us an email. I'll show you the email address. Just cancel before the billing period starts. It's the only thing we ask. But for $20.26, you could join us for 30 days. You can become a full-blown member, and when the new magnet strategy is available, which I believe will be out before your 30 days are up, you'll be able to keep your $97 a month price, because we're going up significantly higher than that come 2026, a couple of months, and we have to raise prices. All our expenses are going through the roof. www.gopro25.com, and this deal is going to expire Sunday at midnight. So 2026, the only catch, you have to be a new member. If you've been a member before, we have another link for you, a special price, a good price. Our monthly price is very, very fair, very reasonable. Let me post that link in the chat for you. Our prices have been so reasonable. We've kept them the same for years. And it's like I said, we want you to join with us. This is our website. When you get the order, when you get ready to place your order, you'll get a 10-minute trades quick start, daily market movers, the trade room subscription, all the software licenses, all right? And that's what you get as a pro member or as our regular member, and that's the link. Let me post that link for everybody. Give me half a second. That's the link if you've been a member before. If you're a brand new member, you see the link in the video, www.gopro25.com. We would love for you to be a member. All the things that you get when you join, nothing is held back. The News Trader software, the Magnet Trade software. We will teach you all about the appointment-based trading method. Choose the events you want to trade. We recommend the best of the best events. So you want to choose the best ones, but you can choose the best events around your schedule. We'll teach you to trade earnings with futures, how to set up a schedule, all of the things that make up appointment-based trading. I'll guide you in the trade room. We go over the software setups every single day, over and over, creating the proper muscle memory so you understand how to do this. And that's a very important key, is understanding how to do it. If you have need help or have questions, and I'm sorry I cut off my screen a little bit, it's help@10minutetrades.com. That's the email you use if you don't want to stay a member, although most people stay. Help@10minutetrades.com. www.gopro25.com is the website. 30 days, it's a ridiculous price for $20.26. Everything is included, everything I said before. 2026, folks, new members only. But if you're not a new member, I threw up the link in the chat. Does anybody have any questions? I really haven't seen any questions at all. We're excited about 2026, excited about making money, trading reversals, trading magnets. Sometimes not trading the spike can be the best trade you take. It's not like we're getting rid of all the spike trades, but we are being more careful about when and which spike trades to take, because we have noticed that sometimes it's harder to take those trades. Magnets don't have slippage in general the way that a spike can have, and they are very consistent trades that the prop companies love. So everybody, thank you for joining the webinar today. I really appreciate the time. Head on over to www.gopro25.com, become a member, join with us. You're going to learn all about news trading, all about being safe when the news is being released. Here's the order website, everything included. You get a Magnet Strategy Masterclass, Pro Trade Room subscription, full-blown trade membership, easy to do, just as easy it is to trade magnets. You can place an order and join with us. So thanks everyone. Keith, nice to see you here. I hope everything's going well on your software. And of course, Keith, you know you can reach out to me at any time. Keith is a brand new member, just bought our software, and he seems happy with it. So that's awesome. Thanks everyone. I'll see you in the trade room. Become a member. And I'm looking forward to teaching you all about reversals, magnets, and the ARS system. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the trade room.